In this video, we'll look at how to take a Swagger or OpenAPI specification file, import it into Postman, and generate collections and documentation automatically. To get started, click this import button here. And now we have a few different ways we can upload it, but I have it saved locally on my computer, so I'm just going to drag and drop into Postman. From the file, Postman pulled the name and the format. And now we can go ahead and say, when we do import this, we want to generate a collection from it. In this case, we want the collection to be documentation. I'll click import. And awesome. It tells us that we did indeed have one API and one collection imported. So let's close this. And let's go ahead and look at the API. So this is for restaurants. Here's our only version right now, it's draft. So let's view it. And in our overview page, we can actually go ahead and see the schema that we just uploaded. So this is where it pulled the information from, right? The title is restaurants, and here's everything else. So now that it's in here, we could change the definition directly in Postman. Let's go back to the overview page and see, here's documentation. So here's what we wanted to create and automatically have generated when we imported this. So if I look, here is the documentation that was generated from the definition we just took a look at. So this is in the API itself. We're in the API section. And now let's look at the collections section. And this will show us that we do have a collection called restaurants that was generated. And so we have, this series of requests that were automatically generated from the API that we just imported, the spec file. And if I were to click view complete documentation here, we'll see that now we have documentation for the collection as well. Let's go back to the API. And one other cool thing that you can do is keep the definition in sync with the actual documentation. So let's say we changed our definition from restaurants to restaurants 2 for this request. I'll save it. I'll come back over to documentation. And from here, let's validate that the documentation matches with the definition. And we should get an error here because we just changed the definition. And of course, we have issues found. I'll click them. And we can see that the names don't match the schema. Well, that makes sense because we just changed it. Because we want the documentation to stay in sync with the definition, let's select all changes, confirm the changes to the collection, and if you watch over here, you'll see this request name change. Awesome, right? So now the collection is updated and we see restaurants 2. This is just the beginning of what you can do importing an OpenAPI specification file. Feel free to import your favorite one and check it out. See you next time.